Hello, it's Jay here again, and welcome to another tutorial. So, in this lesson, we're going to do something a little bit different. As you can see, I have the Player 1 movement script open, and this has become a very long script now, and I know some of you are finding that difficult to deal with. Even I have to look through the script to find where certain sections are. So what we're going to do, and this isn't optimization, this just makes it easier for the programmer, is we're going to start breaking down this script into other scripts. So with that said, let's create a new C# script, and we'll call that Player 1 Animations. Once we've created it, let's open that script up. So let's begin in this script now. We're not going to use the static variables, because I still want to assign everything to one script. So all the audios and everything else still attached to the Play 1 movement, the same for the animation clips. So the first thing we need to do in the Play 1 animation script is reference the Play 1 movement script. So we're going to say private Player 1 movement underscore P1 movement. Let's use that as the naming convention, and we'll quickly put this into the comments. Defines naming convention for reference to the Play 1 movement script. Now we have a reference to this script. What we're going to do is we're going to come down, and I want to find all my animations, so let's just have a look through. And I'm going to begin with the demo animation just because it's very easy. So let's cut the void, and we're going to paste this below the void update, and we're going to change it from private to public. And we're actually going to come inside function, and we need to come above this line. So in this lesson, where you put your lines of code is important, so just bear that in mind. If there's an exception, I'll mention it. But we're going to reference the object because we need to, because we're not using static variables. So underscore P1 movement, and that's going to equal the current game object. So in order to reference the current game object, we can just use game object, but this time we only want the lowercase g. Do not start it with capital G, that's very important. We're going to use .getComponent. We've done this loads of times now. In brackets, we'll get the Play 1 movement script, come to the end of the line, we'll open and close brackets, and we'll close the line off. I'll break this up for commenting, so I'll put that our new P1 movement variable equals the player 1 movement script. So we have 2 red errors here, and that's just because we need to reference the game object, which of course now equals this variable. So we can just say underscore p1 movement dot, and the player 1 demo anim error has vanished. We're going to do the same to the play 1 animation component. So at the beginning, p1 movement dot, and don't worry about the red error. Let's just save that off there. All we need to do to fix this error is to come to the play 1 movement script and find the animation component and set that from private to public. If I save that off and come back to the animation script, the error has disappeared. Now for the play 1 movement, we should just be able to use the void start rather than finding the game object each time. It will need to be done in this script, but let's copy the variable first. And I'll actually put this with the animation component. Let's just paste that line in. So it's just the opposite. So now we're referencing the play 1 animation script, naming convention of p1 animations. And I'll just copy and paste play 1 animations into the comments here to change those. And this line we will copy where we equal and get the component. I'm going to put this in the void start. This is the one line where you can put anywhere. I'm going to put it here with the animation component. So p1 animations, change that in the comments, and we'll change this to the play 1 animation script. And we'll just quickly copy and paste that into the comments. So now we should just have one red error here where we call the demo animation, and just like before, we just need a reference to the same game object. I know it may seem silly to reference the game object when they're both attached to the same script, but that's just how C# works. So I've just added p1 animations dot before we call the animation. Let's just save that off. Well, downstairs Visual Studio, we'll come to the resources and we'll attach that script. I'll just do it for the black robot for testing. So as you can see, we have no variables to assign. They're all still assigned within the Play 1 movement script. So we'll hit play. Does mean we won't have to bother reassigning anything, and we're just going to come to the choose character screen. That's all we need to see if the demo animation is still going to work, which it does. So I'm going to stop that there. We'll come back to the play one movement script. And let's do the same for the idle. So I'm going to cut the void out of the play one movement script. Going to paste that in again into the animation script. We're just going to change it again to public. We'll need to copy this line above there, and again we're just going to add P1 movement dot in front of the line and in front of the animation name. So we'll just save that script off, and just as before we have the red error where we call that animation in the play one idle. And again we're just going to add P1 animations dot, and then we can call the idle animation function. Let's just save that all off. We'll hit play again. So there is the demo animation still playing. Let's select the fighting, and as you can see the idle animation is still playing, and we're getting no errors on the console, so we can stop that there. So I'm going to leave it here for this lesson. In the next video we'll do all the other animations. Of course, if you want, you can move ahead and do the animations for yourself. It is all pretty simple now, but I'll go through it in a video anyway. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time, and as always, until then, bye for now.